Well, hello there. I'd like to have a very quick chat about a news article, which this we're talking about this mostly to quickly legitimize some stuff I want to do later this evening, which is stream some coding about implementing some neural network shenanigans, which is really cool. Growing a network, literally like adding on gray matter, kind of. 'Cause, we want to make those big brain galaxy plays. Um, and part of the reason I think that direction of research and implementation, engineering, and these real world things are important is for the purpose of empathy. I just kind of for the first time perused a bit of the Capitol riot stuff, QAnon shaman things, because the height of comedy is the real world, apparently. And I think empathy is going to be pretty important for a lot of reasons, and one of those is because anonymity and safety is going away, which is one of the reasons I'm forcing myself to be comfortable trying to have thoughts and feelings on the internet where things are recorded and written in stone, because it is unavoidable. Not just because of brain-computer interfaces, but also because of facial recognition everywhere. Also, this picture it's terribly perfect. Not an insult, not a compliment. I just have feelings and I can't untangle them. So, Portland is a place. It's been in the news a lot. We're not talking about the politics. We're talking about facial recognition, and that's it. Don't extrapolate. Here's a guy who's not a fan of what the police are doing. No comment. Not why I'm here. So he's using facial recognition to attempt to fight. I don't know. They're using facial recognition. A lot of it can see through masks and things. There was a fellow in Hong Kong who did a very similar thing, and he was arrested. He ultimately abandoned that little side project. Quick little funny. Journalism is broken, and it's not great. It's not great much of the time. Is it broken? Probably. It's a beautiful name, beautiful man. Is an artist in France. Apparently, he was actually from Italy, and they corrected that at the bottom. It's childish to try to stop me, which sounds terrible. It sounds terrible. But is that the full thing he said? Is it? Is it? No. That's his name. Yeah. What he actually said, it's about privacy of everyone, said Mr. Curio. That's a magic card. Sorry. Who believes facial recognition should be banned. Which, there's a fair argument for that. I just don't know how you get around. Like the question of how would you ever ban facial recognition is okay. It's about privacy for everyone. It's childish to try to stop me, as an artist who's trying to raise the problem, attention to the problem, instead of addressing the problem itself, right? Like the use of facial recognition at all gets really crazy. I mean, really crazy. And Stuart Russell has done a delightful talk a few years ago at this point about the use of artificial intelligence in any sort of adversarial-like scenario, aka war, guerrilla warfare, and this sort of thing. And you add in the facial recognition component, and nowhere is safe, but literally. So, I love war video games, I love strategy games, and I love dystopian sci-fi, which much of the time means we're talking about Philip K. Dick and, who's that other guy? Neuromancer. I can't remember the author's name. I love Isaac Asimov, who I discovered, and then it goes way off the rails, but our cult of ignorance. I don't know. I like Asimov. The Last Question. Great stuff. And it's just funny that it's I love all this dystopian sci-fi stuff, and it's it's just the news. I think that was the last bit. There might have been one other thing. Oh, Portland. I mean, obviously both sides are very uncomfortable with this, both the civilian and the military/police, whatever, And people are seeking legal advice, and I'd hate to be the lawyer. Oh my God. Like, how do you make sense of this? How do you make sense of this? So we'll see the future of this. My kind of main point in bringing this up is that facial recognition's not new. It's not difficult. And this picture, it just cracks me up. I don't know why. I don't know why, but it does. But the amount of like very simple, like, are they even AI anymore? You know, edge detection and all this sort of stuff. It's not new. It's not impressive, and it's cheap, and it's everywhere, right? Like, oh, you ban it. Well, how do you even tell if a phone is using it or not, right? Like, it takes up like less than a megabyte of space on any sort of IoT Internet of Things like device. So one could try and attack the problem in the field, right? Like ban this, that, and the other, and that's just not going to work, right? We'll talk about how CRISPR makes this a whole other problem as well with the in the biological warfare space. I'm staying on topic very well, I know. But this is a broader sort of mathematical problem rather than here's this little thing the media is focused on, which is often the case. No blame being apportioned. They have to make money, like everyone else. For now, scarcity, is it a myth? Is it with us forever? Who knows? Who knows? However, there is one solution to this type of warfare problem, which is kind of going the hive mind direction, which can look many different ways, but one of those is empathy, right? I'm a actually terrible person enough to need to personally really look at empathy and try and understand it better. But I also, I get people enough to know that if we don't figure out AI empathy, and, Neuralink and brain-computer interfaces sort of helping humanity, but also just AI in its purest form, we have got to figure out how to get these things to give a crap about us, because otherwise we go bye-bye. And it would be fun, right? I just saw a picture or a little video, which I lost, but it was a goat petting a cat, which was amazing. And it was like a long enough and like a slow enough interaction that like it was definitely the goat petting the cat. It's long, I won't share it because I lost it. It's gone. But empathy's great. Like, it's also just a delightful, fun thing. It's not just like exercise, or you have to do it or you'll die young to, I was gonna say AIDS, but that makes no sense, to heart disease or something. Empathy also makes for cuddly friendships, and some would say the purpose of life. I wouldn't necessarily go that far, but I would say it is a great component for a raison d'etre, a reason to be. Okay, this evening we're going to be streaming. I'm going to be running through a tutorial on this, I'm calling it GrowGAN, because it is a GAN. It is a generative adversarial network, which grows. It starts really small. It's a 4x4 little pixel space images, which is like literally 4 blocks, and eventually can grow really big. How big will we make ours? I don't know. We're using a Google Colab, so we'll have to see how much apportioned RAM and GPU space we have, but it will be fun. I will try to make it fun, and I will be frustrated because I'm bad at coding. But this is how you get better, by embracing death. And by death, I mean failure and getting up again. Rise of the Phoenix! Okay. This picture, I don't know. It's so good. Goodbye.